Kevin Webster's cancer lie threatens to be exposed on Coronation Street next week when Debbie makes a life-changing decision so she can help her brother, not realizing he's keeping a shocking secret about his condition. Determined to support her brother through the next part of his cancer journey, Debbie puts in a ridiculous offer for no six so she can move in across the road from Kev. Her rash actions have huge consequences, but will it shame Kev into coming clean about what's really going on? The longer this lie continues, the more Kevin regrets it. Begins our Corey insider. Kev is using his health to fight for his and Abby's marriage, knowing she's attracted to Carl. But he hadn't banked on how it would affect the rest of his family. Debbie's dementia symptoms are already a cause for concern, and believing her brother is still fighting cancer could push her over the edge. When doctors recently gave Kevin the all-clear, he pretended to Abby that his chemo hadn't worked and he needed more aggressive treatment. Kevin's fib was born out of his paranoia that his missus has the hots for his little brother, and was a twisted way of stopping her from cheating on him. Now everyone on the street, apart from Tyrone Dobbs, thinks Kevin is facing another grueling session of chemotherapy, when in actual fact his cancer has gone completely. Disapproving Ty urges his mate to be honest, and Kevin insists he'll put Abby straight once they get back from their upcoming romantic weekend away, which thoughtful Abby booked to take her hubby's mind off his illness. Meanwhile, Debbie is determined to be there for her sickly sibling, and her fiancé Ronnie Bailey is worried about her behavior. Debbie has put an offer in on no six so she can be nearer her brother, reveals our insider. However, when Carla outbids her on the property, she's absolutely fuming. Debbie tells Ronnie she'll do whatever it takes to be closer to Kev in his hour of need, and she means it. Ronnie fears Debbie is letting her emotions get the better of her. Refusing to be gazumped by Carla, Debbie announces the gloves are off and makes an insanely high offer on the house that could make a serious dent in her finances. Bemused Ronnie tries to talk some sense into his fired-up other half, but she insists that she's a successful businesswoman who knows how to clinch a deal and orders him to keep his nose out. Going behind his partner's back, Ronnie explains to Kevin how Debbie's desire to live on the street so she can support him has become an obsession that's affecting her judgment. Not realizing Kev has been given a clean bill of health, Kevin feels so ashamed. Our source adds, he didn't mean for this to get so out of hand or to worry everybody so much. Taking Debbie aside, he pleads with her not to make any hasty decisions because of him, reassuring her he's got enough help on hand. Has he done enough to stop Debbie bankrupting herself? And when he eventually confesses all to Abby, will his deceit end up driving her into Carl's arms? Kevin Webster has always been known as Weatherfield's affable family man, loyal taxi driver, devoted father, and steadfast husband. But next week on Coronation Street, a web of deception spun by Kevin threatens to unravel his closest relationships, pitting sister Debbie Webster squarely against the formidable Carla Connor in a high-stakes neighborhood face-off. With Kevin's cancer lie at the center of it all, Debbie's well-intentioned but reckless ambition to move across the road could leave her financially and emotionally bankrupt. Here's an in-depth look at the twists, betrayals, and emotional reckonings that lie ahead for the Websters and their neighbors. Last month, viewers saw Kevin Webster receive an extraordinarily hopeful prognosis. His cancer was in remission. Yet, fearing his wife Abby's growing closeness to his own brother, Kevin concocted a ruthless plan. By feigning continued illness, he hoped to keep Abby's attentions fixed firmly on him, derailing any chance of infidelity. As word of Kevin's recurrence spread, Weatherfield's empathy poured in, cards, casseroles, and medical advice handed over at the Rover's return. But unbeknownst to everyone, Kevin was gazing at a clean bill of health. While his motive seems petty, driven by paranoia that Abby has eyes for Carl Gallagher, his deceit is far from harmless. Kevin's closest confidant, Tyrone Dobbs, has warned him that lies never stay buried. Yet Kevin insists he'll tell Abby the truth after their upcoming romantic getaway, an anniversary treat Abby thoughtfully arranged to cheer up her sick husband. But with the holiday just days away, Kevin's guilt mounts, and the consequences of his deception begin to take shape. Enter Debbie Webster, Kevin's protective sister who has always idolized her big brother. Concerned that Kevin might feel isolated in his illness, Debbie announces she intends to move right across the street. Her logical solution? Place an offer on number 6 Coronation Street, the ideal property for a family-minded woman looking to be a supportive sister. Driven by earnest determination, Debbie submits a bid, only to discover her rival is none other than Carla Connor, Underworld's uncompromising owner and one of Weatherfield's most powerful figures. Debbie's initial offer was designed to reflect her modest means as a savvy cafe proprietor, but Carla's top-dollar bid left Debbie reeling. Rather than step back gracefully, Debbie doubles down, convinced that proximity equals support. Inspired by their late father's motto, "Family sticks together, come what may," she lodges an even higher offer, risking her hard-earned savings and business loan prospects. With tensions mounting, Debbie's fiancé, Ronnie Bailey, fears she's allowing sentimentality and Kevin's fabricated illness to cloud her judgment. Ronnie Bailey, who returned to Weatherfield last year after reconciling with Debbie over her dementia scare, worries that Debbie is jeopardizing their future. In private conversations at the bistro, Ronnie confides to Kevin that Debbie's fixation on living next door borders on obsession. He cites her mounting credit card balances, strained supplier relationships, and sleepless nights drafting bidding strategies. Yet Debbie's unwavering conviction, she must be there when Kevin needs her, beats any rational financial plan. When Ronnie attempts to reason with Debbie, reminding her that Carla's deep pockets and property portfolio leave them at a disadvantage, Debbie's temper flares. In a confrontation at the cafe, she snaps, "No one cares about Kev like I do. If that means I go into debt, so be it." The argument ends with Debbie slamming the till drawer, while Ronnie mutters under his breath about taking out a personal loan to cover her down payment. Meanwhile, Kevin wrestles with escalating guilt. Each day brings new signs that Debbie and Abby are making life-altering decisions based on a false premise. When Debbie exults over her winning bid, Kevin's stomach churns. He confides in Tyrone, admitting he never foresaw Debbie's reaction. Tyrone, ever the voice of reason, implores him to come clean before Debbie mortgages her future for a lie. The tipping point arrives in a tearful scene at Webster Motors. Debbie arrives unannounced to deliver homemade soup, only to find Kevin staring blankly at pending mortgage paperwork. Debbie's eyes light up. It's going through. We'll be neighbors at last. But Kevin falters. The sight of Debbie's hopeful grin, mixed with Ronnie's anxious gaze, pushes him to the brink. Later that night, Kevin sneaks into Abby and his shared bedroom to retrieve the oncology letter confirming his remission. As he crumples it into his pocket, he rehearses an apology he's terrified to deliver. Meanwhile, Abby Webster remains oblivious to Kevin's ruse. Believing her husband's cancer battle is worsening, she dons a brave face but admits to friend Maria that she fears life without Kevin. "He's my rock," she confides, "and I'd shift heaven and earth to be by his side." Just like Debbie. Abby arranges for a restful weekend at a lakeside cottage, hoping to lift Kevin's spirits before his new chemo cycle. But Abby's gift backfires when Kevin, faced with the veneer of sympathy and maternal fuss, realizes he's about to betray her trust on an intimate getaway. In the cottage's rustic kitchen, while Abby prepares tea, Kevin watches her, the woman who built her life around him, and the enormity of his deception crashes down.